Welcome to Onivia, League of Legends highlights. These are the best highlights from today's LCK matchup.
Looking for a play. If he lands this ult onto Mihail, yep, he's gonna land it. There it is, the flash on in from Kingen, and he is just so dead. Nothing that Mihail can do, even flashes, and he still dies.
This is the ultimate, you know, you've got a shot there, but he still flashes Mihail and dies regardless. So a huge win for Dplus. A lot of that gold deficit now completely shored up. Bottom lane, still a bit of a problem. Still going to be a turret potentially going down here.
Well, I'm going in, just trying to peel for aiming so he can farm the minions. But yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, this turret should be going down very, very quickly. Just one more push and they should get it, especially with DK's bottom lane backing. Yeah, so big win for Nongshim.
There's no really way they could save this. Lucid doesn't have ult, isn't here. We're backing right now. There's just nothing they can do. That's a ton of gold into the pockets of the Nila and the Senna. Also going to get this dragon. And the XP diff is really a problem here as Mom doesn't have Solar Flare, isn't going to be able to make an all-in happen. Both Jiwoo and Vital went cleanse as well, so it's really tough to actually find an angle to set something up here to defend the turret. And no answer just yet. Sylvie's coming over, but he alone I don't think is going to be enough.
Okay, they're going to engage on a Sylvie, but now Moham is here, and immediately Sylvie's like, oh crap, there's three of them. I didn't mean to get into this kind of fight, but Sylvie's just going to go down. His first blood given over, it said, actually, over there to the Kaisa, and it is going to be another kill given over to Moham, as that is just going to be 3 kills on the board now.
Great Zenith play there by Moham as well. If he walks down through the lane instead of actually coming from that brush there, it's much safer, and he might actually be able to surprise them. Instead, he just kind of walks face first into his death. They're not able to save Mihail. The great Zenith blade coming through from Moham to finish the job. The aggro of the turret is juggled pretty well. Showmaker going to deny minions and get this turret. Will not be first brick, but it will be 425 gold. Will opt in for it, but otherwise, if you don't have vision, if you don't have prio, it's very tricky. This situation, Sylvie's on this first, but definitely prio goes to Dplus. They have this TP as well, and I think Nongshim should be wary of actually looking for an engage. Jiwoo can't close the gap.
Yeah, Nongshim very split up here. They're trying to group up, and they're going to get that cleanse out of Jiwoo, but Moham in a bit of a trouble here as the Aurora ult does come down. Moham might bite the dust. Yes, he will, but Sylvie goes down as well as aiming takes him out, as now Lucid trying to disengage here. DK don't want any more, but that will be a second kill going over to Mihail on this Aurora.
Yeah, so he picks up 2. That's going to really be huge for offering a ton of damage there with that Aurora.
We're going to see the top lane turret go down, actually. Tier 1 here given over to DK. That Rift Herald getting some value.
Deep into the enemy jungle as he is now. There's playing through this top side. Here comes Fisher.
Yeah, I'm trying to go for an all-in here onto Showmaker, who will respect it. Does go for a flash, especially with Sylvie making his way up here. As the Nature's Grasp, he is under turret, but he's still killable as in goes Sylvie, and Showmaker will be taken down. It's 500 gold given over to Fisher on Zeri. As we got another fight in mid here, though, as it looks like Nila has pushed up a little bit too far. Jiwoo's going to go down this time.
He's picked up a ton of gold, you know, as a support who is a pseudo AD carry in this case with Fisher.
Oh, he's got aiming with him, and there goes aiming right into the back line. Takes out Fisher. There wasn't much of a backline because he was alone, so down he goes.
Yeah, they didn't know where aiming was, and he didn't have flash, so couldn't have flashed the Void Seeker. Once he's hit by that, he is definitely just dead. There's no turret to go to as Moham's going in.
Trying to go in here on a Jiwoo. They're going to get the cleanse out. And yes, the cleanse has a lot of value, but if you can...
But that is going to be the inner going down, as Dplus have just played such a great macro game here. And Nongshim have tunneled so hard on trying to get this mid turret, but have been stopped now twice. Looks like this time, the third time of asking, they will finally get this down. But the inner turret's gold is definitely more valuable. Looks like he was just going to walk straight into 4 people, but he does realize he can't take that path and takes the longer path around now. And what looked like a great Drake start for Dplus, they're now outnumbered. Showmaker is about to walk into a TP, he sees it.
Mihail's just in the backline. He's just going to be blown up immediately. Gets taken out, and now the equalizer does a good job zoning them away. A bit of damage is now on this front line. Nongshim's still trying to fight it for some reason. They have already lost the fight. It's double kill for aiming, as now some big ones are coming out of the poke from aiming as well, as he dashes into the backline. And this could even be a penta, but it is just one guy to get away. Jiwoo, a quadra kill goes to our gold king.
Oh man, Mia was trying to set up a flank angle there, but just gets collapsed on. Showmaker's denied entry, but it just doesn't matter. Now Dplus have their eyes on the Baron. Moham's already been on it for a second or two, and now the rest of the team shows up. So a big team fight win. Dragon goes over. 4 kills for aiming. And it's not just aiming who's big. The Corky is also an item ahead of this area as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like after, okay, hold up, maybe an angle here on the Showmaker.
He's just trying to turn onto Mahal, and yes, he has a lot of damage, but that is 2 guys. Make it 3 now as Fisher flashes the wall. Equalizer comes down, just kind of half-heartedly to try to peel, but that is going to be Showmaker taken down.
Yeah,
and that's like, there hasn't really been a true team fight where Gnomestream are like, okay, Neela's going, we got Maokai, we've got all these guys.
Maybe you'll get it now.
Send ultimate over the top. Let's see it. Come on, let's do it. One time for the boys, says the root's going to come down. Equalizer, a lot of damage into Gnomestream, and that is just Baron given over to Dplus as in goes the Aurora, and Moham is in a really rough spot, and now Mihail is able to jump over to the side, but they only get 1. As Lucid still has his flash, and he doesn't even have to use it.
Yeah, they're just too far away from the pit to actually contest. Dplus had so much control there that even though Mihail's ultimate is pretty decent in the pit there, it's just not quite enough. They get the pick onto Moham, who's left behind. He's a Leona, but they get an inner turret. Maybe they can get more here. There's a Neela ult.
Yeah, he's going to use it onto Lucid, and then nearly die. Not quite the angle. I think that's just negative. Yeah, they're just waiting for the next wave, and I'm sure they will get into the positive.
They went up. I saw +6 for a second there. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Well, Sylvie's going to throw out an ult here, knowing that this is the push that the wave that they want to go on. But now here comes the Wombo combo. Not really going to layer it well onto Sylvie, who does get away with the Maokai Twisted retreat this time. And finally, Dplus. So Gnomestream trying to create some kind of resistance, but already a little bit behind the 8 ball.
Hanging on the flank here for an equalizer setup.
All right, they're trying to engage on a Lucid as the cleanse will come out, and everybody on the side of Gnomestream just abandons ship. Just gets away, just tries to kite it out. Lucid is pretty low, and now the Aurora ultimate comes down. They catch Lucid. They catch the jungler of DK, and that is going to stop this push from coming in. Geo also going to be able to lock down a kill, but that just gives aiming another one, and now potentially the snowball to come in as everything is on fire, but Kingen maybe disrespecting the enemies now as they push forward. Gnomestream looking for more, and they're looking for the big shutdown onto aiming as he has the Zhonya's, but only the Zhonya's 1Q does a lot of damage, but it's only a trade 1-for-1, and Gnomestream are on the push.
They're on the push. They're going to look for this inhibitor at least. I mean, there's 4 members down. Kingen doesn't have ult. They might just be able to end this game. I think they can. They have a ton of damage from these champs that they have up and available. Mountain the fight. They are taking the Dragon, which is being contested by TP in live. So the Equalizer gets low value here in this fight because they just retreat super well.
I mean, they're going to take a ton of poke damage as well from aiming. They got to be careful about that. So starting a Baron is very risky. You can see already some of the health bars being chipped away. It's not just aiming, it's also Showmaker as in goes Moham. The Equalizer, again, this is not a full committal, but now aiming going to pull the trigger. Big solar flare onto that backline, but the damage was not put in. Lucid super low, and so is Moham, and so is aiming. Aiming the first one to go down. Showmaker just throws his life away in the river, and Gnomestream are just outplaying them.
That was a disastrous fight from Dplus. Very puzzling calls there. The Aurora ultimate locks down aiming, and now Lucid, the last to fall. I think maybe they'll get an inhibitor this time. Valdez off of 4 kills. Kingen once again the only one alive. The only one on Dplus with 0 deaths. He is just going to back off here. Now, they don't have a wave to push through in mid, so instead they're just going to go to top lane. Remember, they still have those 6 grubs from earlier. They're making quick work of these turrets. They should be able to turn this into an inhibitor, maybe even more.
I think without Baron, it's going to be difficult.
But they could just kite down towards the mid inhibitor, worst case scenario. But I mean, look at this. With 6 grubs, they can definitely push the issue. I mean, Showmaker's not up for 13, aiming for 10. I think they just end.
Yeah, they just have to push potential, enough minions, and not enough Dplus Kia. Gnomestream, RedForce.
These were the best highlights from today's LCK matchup. Click that subscribe button faster than Ramus can say, okay. See you on the next one.